So, guys, I'm Muslim. I know that's a great way of starting a YouTube video. So if you're thinking about becoming Muslim, and if you're strengthening your faith, if you're already Muslim, if you have Muslim friends or family, whatever the case is, if you like this religion, if you're interested in this religion, maybe you will be interested in what I have to say, because I am Bangladeshi by ethnicity, but I was born in the USA, in New York, lived here my whole life, never lived anywhere else. I visited Canada. I want to visit Bosnia. I want to visit a bunch of countries, but anyways, that's a different story. Hey, if you can watch this whole video and get my watch time hours up, maybe I can get enough money from YouTube to visit these places and make content and strengthen my Islamic faith and give you guys. That's a different story though, because my dream is to travel. But I want to talk to you guys about my Islamic faith and how I became Muslim. So I was born Muslim. My parents are actually Bangladeshi, from Bangladesh, but they came here very, very long time ago. My dad came here in like the 1980s. My parents came here in the 1980s during like the Reagan era, completely illegal. So, um, not saying that's bad or good, just saying it as it is. That's what it is, and I don't know how exactly the process of them coming. Maybe they like it's like they were a lottery pick, maybe visa, maybe they. I really don't know. I don't know that much about that since I was born here. I don't know the immigration process. Um, but you know they've been citizens for longer than I've probably. They've definitely been citizens longer than I lived. So if you have a problem with that, you know, get away, go away, shut up. Um, yeah, so I was, Bangladesh is a Muslim country, majority Muslim. I think it's 99% Muslim or 98. It's sort of like a weird kind of country because all around it, like there's no really Muslim countries are right like directly around it. We got Myanmar to the right. We got West Bengal to the left, which is India, also known as like Kolkata. I won't say Calcutta. That's not. If you know, you know. Kolkata, and I love the way I say that Kolkata as a. But yeah, so Bangladesh is a unique place. I've been there. I've been there once when I was like 6 months old. I don't know. I don't know why my parents brought me there when I wasn't even a year old. So I don't remember a single thing. I just see pictures and stuff. And then I visited again when I was like 13 for 2 weeks. These are just like mini vacations every brown kid goes on with their parents wherever they're from. If you're Indian American, you go to India all the time, or sometimes whatever. If you're Haitian American, you go to Haiti. It's all if you're that's just how it works. That's just how we are. Although I didn't have that much money, so I couldn't go that often. So it's usually just my mom going to Bangladesh, my stepmom. So yeah, I'm not really too in tune with the culture. I'm not tied with the culture or the religion. So growing up, although it's not the case with everyone, for me, I wasn't that strong in faith. I was agnostic, I would say. I would say I was like identity wise Muslim. I'll tell people I'm Muslim, but I didn't really practice my faith at all, like not even a little bit. And I mean, I did take like Arabic classes and I learned how to pray, but then I guess like after the classes I forgot all of that. I was the one who wanted to take those classes, so I don't know why. Maybe it's shaitan, maybe it's whatever the case is. Um, so yeah, and I just didn't have interest. My sister has always been interested. My parents are religious to a certain degree. They're not like the most religious, but I would say my dad's not the most religious, although, they're very strong in faith. They believe strongly. They just don't practice as strongly as they should. You know, but it's not for me to judge. Sorry. And then yeah, my sister is a little stronger in her faith. She doesn't wear the hijab, but she did for a certain point. I don't know why she doesn't wear it anymore, but she does pray 5 times a day. She all that, and she eats only halal food. But yeah, I don't do any of that. I don't eat like only halal food. I don't even know how to pray. What I've been doing recently is listening to surahs on YouTube and just reading Quran verses online. But either way, I used to always kind of criticize Islam, like not so harshly, but I would just question it a lot and be like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to go to the mosque now? Blah blah blah. Um, but what happens when we're in our early 20s? This is a very interesting thing that a friend told me, or a coworker, not a friend, um, that in your early 20s, your frontal lobe or something is developing, and you are sort of getting an existential crisis. You kind of see things differently now, a little bit more. Things are more impactful now because you start to understand them on a deeper level. And yeah, that's really what happened to me. I had an existential crisis so bad. Um, I became afraid of death. Everywhere I looked, I just saw death, death, death. And that's all I saw. That's all I perceived for, I won't say it's that long. It was like a week. A week, like even when my aunt and uncle, I saw them, they're old. I'll be like, in my head, I'd be like, what's going to happen to them when they're gone? Are they gone forever? Really, what's going to happen? So scared. Like you could see me. I couldn't even eat. I didn't tell anyone, but I tell people now because it's such an interesting time in my life that's so unique that really never experienced that in my life before. But then I hear other people going through those experiences and I'm like, wow, that's so interesting. But yeah, and so I was looking for truth, I was looking for truth, scrubbing through all the videos I could about death, what's going to happen. Is it scientifically proven that we'll have consciousness after death? Does consciousness go away? Does it get recycled? And then I stumbled upon Buddhist teachings. And to me, if you're not of a religion, if you weren't brought into a religion, and if you're someone who's naturally empathetic and spiritual, and you love nature, you love the world you live in, you love just being, or you want to love just being, I think Buddhism is a very, very good practice. I don't necessarily know if I would call it a religion. It could be. I don't know that much. Educate me if it is or if it's not. But I say it's more of a philosophy and a daily way of living and thinking, just as religion is. But I don't know if God is in the picture in there. I really don't know that much about Buddhism. Like I said, I was researching it a lot at first, but for whatever reason, I didn't accept it. I did become vegan, and that's part of the reason why I really dug Buddhism, because it's um, really, really kind to animals, to the point where even monks are banging their gong or bell or some noise while walking through fields or grass just so bugs can get out of the way so they don't get killed when walking, because you can even accidentally kill them. I thought that was beautiful because I love animals. I don't want harm to animals. That's one of my hot takes in Islam. And I don't think it's arguable. I don't think Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, wanted us to eat as much meat as we're eating. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was in the desert. He's not eating tons of meat. He's not eating burgers, halal guys. He's not eating all that. Maybe once in a blue moon he ate meat. Maybe here and there when he could find it when it was. But I think from what I know, he urged people not to eat so much meat because it's addictive. He urged people not to eat it daily because it's addictive. Now we don't live in the desert. We live in modern society. Most of us, if you're watching this, you probably are as well. Hopefully, if not, yeah. So I guess I got allergies, but I got allergies. But yeah, so now we got like grocery stores everywhere. It's so accessible. It's not like we're like traveling the desert for a single bite to eat. You got people eating halal chicken nuggets with ketchup and mayo. Like, come on, don't eat so much meat. It's addictive. And just because God gave us dominion over these animals, just because he wants us to take care of them, and he gave them, like, in the way people interpret it is they were given for us. We're a caretaker. We're like the babysitter in charge of the daycare center. We have a responsibility. Although we have dominion, although we're in charge, that doesn't mean we abuse. Well, it doesn't mean we cause abuse. It doesn't mean we cause violence. So that doesn't, I have a different interpretation. I know a lot of Muslims say eat your heart out, that it's given to what God gave us, the animals to eat. I don't believe that. I believe, if you have to, although I'm not vegan anymore, which it's, I gotta get back into it. It's kind of hard. Like I said, meat is addictive. That's just a side note. A lot of people in Islam disagree with me. I'm not changing my point. No debate can change my mind. Although I have to strive to be better myself. That I will agree on. I keep saying This is why I'm making videos, so I could stop saying because I'm a very good talker. I can think, like, in my opinion, humbly speaking. The way I think is philosophically and poetically. I think of things through metaphor and similes, and I just think in a different way, and I've always been like this. So yeah. Anyways, that's why I thought Buddhism was the way to go, because I just loved animals so much. But a lot of religions probably are saying the same things, and it's just not something that's being taught by religious leaders as much because bias. But my religion came, I was researching different religions, and as a Muslim, really not the only two, obviously there's Buddhism, but really the main two religions, a lot of Muslims or a lot of people gravitate towards, or either Christianity or Islam. And I grew up Muslim, but I wanted to research both. I started watching a lot of videos on YouTube, and there was this one YouTuber that I started watching. His name is I Am the Warner. I don't know if he's controversial to the public or whatever. I like him. I like the way he speaks. He gives a lot of knowledge. He's very kind to the people he talks to. He's very open-minded. Don't test him because he's Muay Thai #1. But if you do that, that's on you. That's not on him. But yeah. So I just started watching a ton of his videos, and they were so interesting. I wasn't watching them to learn. I was just watching them because they're a good pastime. I enjoyed watching them. And then, like, the start, all the points he was making, they all made sense to me. And I'm Muslim, so I knew like the basis and a little bit of it, so it wasn't hard for me to kind of grasp. And man, I was just more interested in the talking points and the arguments than the actual religion. But that's where my journey really started. Fast forward, because I don't think I was like watching those videos, then I kind of stopped, learned about Christianity through a lot of Christians in America, obviously. And I had a coworker when in a job I had. He was a pastor, and me and him would just go back and forth 2 hours at a day talking about Christianity, not Islam, maybe a little bit of Islam, but he was a Christian pastor, so he would obviously talk to me about Christianity, and I would be interested in listen, because regardless of what I believe, just knowledge is always a good thing. Because let's say from the Islamic perspective, a Muslim's perspective, if you know about Christianity, if you read the Bible, if you know all this, you don't have to believe in it, you don't have to worship the same way. But if you're talking to a Christian who's thinking about Islam, who's better to talk to them than someone who's knowledgeable about Christianity and Islam? Like, you can really speak to a lot of people. And he wanted to learn about Islam too, so it was vice versa. And that's just, it's better to have knowledge, because, everyone in the world is our brothers and sisters. You know, we're all human beings made in the image of God. I don't know if that's an Islamic way of thinking. I know that's in Christianity, but I love that. You know, we're all God's children. I love that. And or servants, but I think those words are interchangeable, because what is a child, a son to his father? You know, his a child is fearful of his father, but not in a way like a horror movie, or like, whatever, or like life or death. It's a where, it's a healthy fear. It's a fear you need in order to stay on the right path. And long story short, I'm still growing in my Muslim faith. I'm still not like, I'm still learning. I'm still strengthening my faith. But that's why, I wanted to make this video. I just wanted to get it out there. My allergies are really kicking in, so I'm going to end it. But if you guys have any questions, I'm going to probably make more videos. Peace.